In this module, we will learn how to manage communications between the SEPM and the client. We will create a new management server list set up for failover. We will explain policy inheritance, the push and pull download options, and the heartbeat. The first thing I'm going to do is create a management server list. So I go to the policies page, and under the policy components, I select management server lists. We already have a default one there. I'm going to add a new one. This one I'm going to particularly configure for the Europe groups. So I need to add in the servers that the Europe groups or clients within those groups are going to communicate with. The first one I need to add in is the new server. So SEPM 01, which is, for example's sake, based in London, would be fine for our European clients as it's fairly local. Let us assume we have another SEPM located in North America, which would be okay for the clients to connect to because we are performing replication, but it's not the priority server that we want them to communicate with. So if we choose another add, but this time do new priority, notice it puts it as priority 2. Now we can choose add server again and add in the North America SEPM. So for this management server list, the Europe clients will receive this list and be able to connect with both SEPM 1 and SEPM 2, but the priority will always be SEPM 1. Let me now save that list. Now I wish to go to the clients page. So now I'm on the client's page, I need to choose the Europe group. Now I can choose the communication settings. Notice we can see the settings for our particular Europe group, but the warning above in brown warns us that we cannot make any changes because we are inheriting these settings from its parent. So let us cancel out of that and disinherit from the parent. We uncheck the policy inheritance. Now the Europe group can make changes. We go back to our communication settings and we can OK this warning. And now we can review and edit the communication settings for the Europe group. Notice that it is currently set to use the default management server list. If we use the drop-down, we should now see our new one we just created, and I can select the one specifically for Europe. Before we leave the communication settings, we also want to review the download policies and content from the management server option. This is controlling the method by which the clients obtain the new policies and content from the SEPM. The default is in push mode, and the push mode means that the connection between the clients and the management server is kept persistent. That is good for a small number of clients and a certain type of heartbeat size, but it may be that you want to extend that to be pull mode, which means that it will poll the management server at regular intervals. This will mean that the content and downloads may well be delayed slightly, and the delay is designated by the heartbeat interval. The heartbeat interval is the frequency by which the clients will upload the data and download the content from the SEPM. So these two settings work together. If you wish to keep them in push mode, you may wish to change the heartbeat interval, which will affect only the log uploading. If your clients are having problems connecting to the SEPM because there are just too many clients and the SEPM can't service that many, then you may need to extend the heartbeat interval and change them to pull mode. You can also change the download randomization window, and that will assist in the performance of the downloads. You can also turn on learning applications. This is not on by default. If you were to turn this on, it would uplift information about all the applications that the clients are running and store that information in the SEPM database for analysis later on. I'm going to leave the settings at pull mode and every 5 minutes. So by changing the communications now, that will affect all the clients now connecting into the Europe group. They will receive that new management server list with the correct priorities and the new settings for their communication. And this brings us to the end of that module.